Hey everyone, Internet PCS book reader here. Today I want to talk about A Court of Mist and Fury by Sarah J. Maas. Okay, I was supposed to read this first before I go through Doppelganger. Okay, I was supposed to read this first before I go through Doppelganger, but the bookstore delivery took their sweet ass time, so I only started reading this now. In the last book, Fairy that started as a human who has been socially conditioned to hate the Fae has started to learn more about them because he was forced to live with the High Lord Tamlin. As usual with new adult genre, both of them fell in love with each other, and at the end of that book, Fairy helped undo a conspiracy by another Fae country that was made to take over Prythian where Tamlin and the other 6 High Lord lives. While Fairy lost her life there, the High Lords decided to resurrect her as a High Fae, and now she lives with Tamlin in his mansion. A Court of Mist and Fury followed immediately after the conclusion of the first book. Fairy woke up in the middle of the night from the trauma and guilt that she held over the event of the first book, where she had to kill innocent people with her own hand in order to save Tamlin and Prythian. It's been 3 months since Amaranta's trial under the mountain, and while Fairy has gotten enough time to adapt to her new body, her new look, and her new immortal super strength, she still hasn't recovered mentally. There is also the deal she made with Ryzen to do anything he wants 1 week every month during the trial that he has strangely not asked or anything yet during the 3 months, but the tattoo on Fairy's hand that symbolized the deal is still there as a constant reminder of it. Her not healing yet is understandable, not just because so little time has passed, but because of Tamlin. While Tamlin has proposed to Fairy and she accepted and they had a party over it, but Tamlin is also traumatized by when he was prisoner of Amaranta. He tried to hide it, even ignoring when Fairy woke up in the middle of the night every night from nightmares, and because of his paranoia, he also tried to basically cage Fairy in the mansion, refusing to let her out of it, not even to visit her family that she left in the previous book in order to save Tamlin. So most of the time, Fairy spent her time with the High Priestess Iante that has returned. Iante and her family escaped at the first sign of danger from Amaranta, and she has now returned after Fairy took care of Amaranta. And Prythian herself, the nation, is still trying to heal after Amaranta breaks them. She had concentration camp for most of the people, so a lot of damage was done to their psyche there. And now they need to worry about getting life back to normal, paying thither for Prythian's feudalism era taxes. And since Tamlin is not willing to give her an edge and Lucian will always be on Tamlin's side, Fairy often clings to Iante because at least talking about the wedding preparation with Iante means there is something for her to do. Because unfortunately both Fairy and Tamlin is in denial mode of where they're currently at, which is unhappy and miserable. And they're clinging to this idea that the wedding and their marriage will fix everything. It was not until the day of the wedding when Fairy was walking down the aisle to Tamlin that she fully realized she can do this. She was stuck on the spot and unable to move because she wanted to run away but too afraid of people's judgment if she did run away. Thankfully, Ryzen came to crash the wedding. Iante escaped when she saw Ryzen and Tamlin didn't put up much fight, so Ryzen took Fairy to the night court. Rhys came because he heard of Fairy play through their bond for anyone to save her from the altar. But of course, considering their past, both of them are not exactly on a friendly term. Fairy even threw her shoes at Rhys like he's George Bush. But at least their Ryzen doesn't treat her like a child that needed overprotection. He not only teaches her how to read, but also how to use her new power like putting up mental shields against him. Often when manipulator or colonizer are trying to get someone else's land, they often use shame that people have not being able to do something like reading, both as a fuel to their narcissistic belief that they are of a superior race, but also as a justification for taming the savages. It is important for Ryzen for Fairy to overcome this because he needs her help for an upcoming war. The King of Hybern is planning to invade the humans and will need to get through Prythian because of it. And Fairy need to realize her potential from being resurrected by the 7 High Lords' essence and their powers in her. She need to realize that she might be the only Fae that can protect her family, so besides training, Fairy don't do much during her week in the Night Court. She didn't even talk to Rhys cousin Morrigan, so soon the week is up and she returned to the Spring Court where Tamlin is. Tamlin is immediately back to caging her mode, which she is now trying in small ways to fight back. Then during the detail, saying how feudalism, unreliable method of subjugating their own people by taking even when they don't need to take, Fairy tried to help a water sprite by giving her her jewelry, which caused her to have a fight with Tamlin. Tamlin even snapped one day and attacked her, and thankfully Fairy managed to call out her power to bring up physical shield so he did not harm her. They of course ignored the domestic violence that Tamlin just did until the day came that Rhys took Fairy back to the Night Court for a week. The story goes on for a while like this. Fairy goes from court A to court B back and forth, As her powers keep appearing while her freedom is being limited until eventually Tamlin actually put her in prison in his mansion. And once again, Reese is the one who rescued Feyre at the time with Morrigan's help. It was back at the Night Court without their deal being involved that Feyre finally decided to look at the city some more. She was introduced to Velaris, a peaceful city that Reese kept hidden during Amaranta's occupation, and she also found his friends and loyal followers. She decided that she wants to join the fight with King Hybern and took a journey with Reese to go to visit the Bone Carver to find more information about the king's plan to invade. She also took a test to get Reese's ring from the Waver, and during all of this, they find more information about the Fey Cauldron, some kind of ancient artifact that is now in the king's hand. And in order to make a possible attempt at stopping his invasion, they need to get two books. One of them belongs to the human queen, so Feyre will need to involve her family to get a meeting place with the mortal queens. Together with Rhys, Cassian, and Asriel, for the first time, Feyre finally went back home after she turned into a Fae. She was not welcomed warmly, except by Elaine, and Nesta sadly went back to her mean older sister role. She accepted them home grudgingly after Elaine asked for it, and while she quickly became the villain of the table, there's obviously some enemy-to-lover set between her and Cassian. After the family agreed to let the Fays use their home for the meeting, they sent a letter to the queens, hoping that they'll respond positively. They then went back home to find the other book in the Summer Court that is said to be able to counter the Cauldron power, and after a while they finally managed to get an invitation there where they meet the Summer King Court, Tarquin. And what made this mission hard is that Tarquin is an actually good guy, and they are there to steal from him. After a lot of flirting by Feyre, they managed to locate the book and stole it. They almost drowned because the book was placed on an island that sinks when the water rises, but the water sprite that Feyre held at the start of the book helped them out, repaying the favor that Feyre did to their sisters. Of course, they got found out, and as a result, Tarquin and the Summer Court consider them as mortal enemies now, sending them blood rubies as a sign that there are bounty placed on their heads. But they got the book, and soon they also got an answer from the Mortal Queens agreeing to a meeting, so there's not much time for regret and guilt since they have to leave back to Fairy's house for the meeting. The meeting, of course, did not go well at all. The Mortal Queens are politicians after all, defender of the status quo and short-sighted self-centered power play. They need to somehow prove that they're trustable, which if you saw the internet nowadays, having credibility is not enough for some of these fools. Because of that, the group went a bit aimless after this, and they mostly resolved some personal drama. Especially Feyre and Rysand will day one day that has been going on for a while. They have been flirting back and forth almost the entire book, but after the attack from King Hyper intensifies, they managed to shoot Rysand and Feyre while they were flying together. Rysand got captured, and while Feyre managed to rescue him with her new powers, he still got poisoned, so in desperation, Feyre recaptured the Suriel once again to ask about a cure. The Suriel, as a bonus, also tell Feyre that she is Rysand's mate. Some kind of magical bonding that you might know if you've seen the last of Twilight series, where Jacob, the gaslighter, also turns into a groomer like his competition. Feyre need to take some time to figure out how she felt about it, but once she connect all the dots and realized that she loves Rysand like he loves her, they had sex. A lot of sex. Before they went back home to the Night Court. At the next meeting with the Queen, Rhys decided to show them Velaris, the city that he has protected and kept secret this entire time to prove that Morrigan was someone who were in the human side at the previous war. But the Queen spat at them by refusing to give them the book except for one Queen who has smuggled it out and kept it hidden during the meeting and left the book behind. They have both of the book and was preparing for war to come, but the Queen betrayed them and told King Hybern about Velaris, and the city for the first time in decades was attacked by Hybern's army. People died, but they at least managed to fight back and protect the city. But they have not much time to wait, so they attack Hybern planning to destroy the cauldron with a small team. Unfortunately, the king was prepared. He has been planning for everything, and he managed to capture all of them with the cauldron power. He made a deal not just with the Mortal Queen, but with Tamlin, who have created into villain of the story, and also the High Priestess Iante. The king did the usual villain monologues where he explained everything, then he brings out Elaine and Nesta and turns them into Fae to prove to the queens that he can give them immortality. To save everyone, Feyre decided to pretend that she managed to free herself from Rysand's brainwash and goes back to Tamlin, and in the process, gave them a way to escape. At the end of the book, Rysand and his group went back to the Night Court, preparing for a war, and Feyre have to go to the Spring Court to pretend that Tamlin did save her from Rysand, while making sure that she is aware of every dealing that Tamlin did with King Hybern as the first High Lady of the Night Court. The second book is just such a good entertainment and is somehow more horny than the first book. There are a few places that are too long and too obvious as usual with these things, but I still really enjoy them. There is not enough elf erotica in the market after all. I give this a 3.25. What do you think? Let me know if I miss anything, so leave your thoughts in the comment below and subscribe to the channel. That's about it. See ya.